Hey, good evening, everyone. I hope I'm audible to everyone. Or requesting to confirm through the chat option. I hope I'm audible to everyone. Okay, so we'll wait another 1 minute. I can see still participants are joining, so we'll wait 1 minute and we'll start the session. Okay, let's start. So happy New Year and welcome to AZ104 training program. So last week we had a demo session, right? So last week we had a demo session and agenda for the training. It's been given. Now today we are officially starting this training program. So let me start from where we ended last week. Yes. So okay. So we are not covered CSP, right? So have we covered this CSP last week? No, right? If I'm not remembering. Yeah. So let's start from a um, welcome to cloud. So last week we had a discussion, or in the demo session we had a discussion about understanding, or it's been like the need of a cloud computing. We understood there are many vendors who is available in the market who is been capable to provide a cloud solution to you. If you take a existing internet site, you may be using Airtel, or it's been like a Geo, or you have a BSNL, or AT&T, or a British Telecom. You have a different vendors available in the market who has been capable to provide internet service to you. They basically it's been knowing as a ISP providers. That's called an internet service provider. Now, similar way, there are many vendors who's been available in the market who has been capable to provide cloud solution to you. That basically knowing as CSP. CSP is the first word we are learning on in the cloud today. CSP stands for Cloud Service Provider. So the vendor or the company who got the capability to provide a cloud solution to you, basically they are known as a CSPs. There are many vendors or it's been available in the market. So one of the leading vendor which you can able to see in the market, or which you may be going to work it in your project, it's called Microsoft. You have a Microsoft is one of the leading vendor. You have a Google is there, you have Amazon is here, and now additional to that you may be able to see, or you may come across with integrating with the other vendors also, like Alibaba, HP, VMware, Salesforce, Rackspace, Red Hat, or Oracle, or Adobe. These are the other vendors available in the market. Now, the cloud product available from a Microsoft is basically knowing as a Microsoft Azure. So the cloud product which is released by Microsoft, is been basically knowing as Microsoft Azure. And the cloud product available from Amazon, it's been knowing as a AWS. And the cloud product available from a Google, it's been knowing as a GCP. So these are the few products which you can able to see in your project or in your organization. Most probably you'll be working on in a Microsoft or any of the cloud provider product here. Now, if you take all this product, you can able to see few market share details also here. Microsoft is having 20 to 25 percentage of the market share currently they are holding, and Amazon also it's been almost 25 to 30 percentage, and Google has been almost 10 percentage also. Now, if you take all these vendors, whether you work with a Microsoft or it's been like a Google or Amazon or a Alibaba or VMware or IBM, this will allow you to create a free account also. Free account means that you don't need to go for a pay as you go model here. Basically, this will allow you to create a free account so you can able to validate. In case if you want to do any lab using a free account, you will be able to do it here. So I'll be helping you to create a free account throughout the session. And whatever topics we are covering, we'll try to do a practical demo also of that. Now, for this event, we're focusing more on in a Microsoft side. So the training which you are trying to do, it's been on Microsoft Azure. So part of the sessions, I'll try to do some comparison with the Microsoft other product, or not other cloud service providers like Amazon or Google as well. Now coming on into Microsoft side, based on the verticals, right? If you take existing organization, you may be having a different teams are available, right? For example, like you may be having Windows administrators in your office, or you may be having Linux administrators available in your organization, or you may be having a network engineers or a security engineers or a architects. There are different teams are available in your organization. Now, you may be thinking like, what will happen to all these teams in case if you have been migrated or in case if you have been moved on into a cloud? So similar kind of a role, you can able to see it on in the cloud side as well. There also you can able to see cloud security engineers, cloud network engineers. You have Azure administrators been available there. There you also you have a SAP engineers or Microsoft 365 or a, VDA expert also. So there is a other certification roles or other profile role also we can able to see out on a cloud. So what Microsoft has been done here, rather than going and doing all the certification or a training program, Microsoft has been defined different verticals based on your job role. For example, like in case if you're working as a Windows administrator or a system administrator, you have a Azure administrator training program has been available. And in case if you're from a developer background, you have a development exams are available. In case if you're from an architect side, you have a solution architect exams are available. So if you want to get all this data, you can able to go to Microsoft portal. There's some site it's called Azure certification. Azure certification. Browse, just you can just type it. There's a link for that. I'm just pasting on in the chat window, so you can able to bookmark it. You can able to bookmark this link. Now, if you go to this site, this will give you a complete summary about all the certification currently available from a Microsoft here. You have an option of selecting the filters here. For example, like in case if you want to do some certification on Azure, you can able to select the particular product here. You have option to select the product. Now, what is the type of the certification you want? Are you looking for a security expert or a data science or a developer options, or it's been like a network engineer or a security engineer? What is your level you have? You have an option to select a filter tab here. So on the left side, you will be able to select the filter tab. So once you selected that, for example, like I've been selected as a security engineer. So right side, you can able to see these are the certification or the training program Microsoft has been announced or it's been available, or in case if you want to go for that, then you can able to go for that. So this basically a solution for you to join, or the solution for you to identify the right certification for you. So this is the link, you can able to use it here. Now from our side, in case if you're going for any certification, whether you go for Azure 104 or 900 or any certification, you can able to go for the training first, then go for the assessment part. Give me a second. So whenever you're going for any certification, rather than just hearing an exam or writing an exam, always we prefer you to go for a learning first, then go for the assessment. So that is the right approach you need to take it. Now coming on into this training, we'll be starting from the fundamentals, and then we'll be moving on into the associate side. So the training currently we are holding, or it's been planning to have, it's been like a combination of these two. So we'll have a Azure fundamentals, and you will have a administrator also. So this is going to be a 32 hours of a session. So daily we'll have 1 hour. So most probably like mid of February, we'll try to complete mid of February, or in the maximum we'll try to complete it in the 16th of February. Supposedly like we'll 1.5 hours. I'll try to cover it, and 16th February we'll try to finish this course. So any questions? Mic has been enabled for everyone. So in case if you want to ask any questions, you can use it. If you're good, we can move to the next slide. Any questions from anyone?
Hello.
Yeah.
Sir, that this one exams also?
Yeah, both exam means
The certificate that time find that time exam given after the certificate give the
we'll help you to we'll give you a couple of questions for writing an exam. So we are not authorized to write the conduct the exam. This has to be conducted by the Prometric Center. So you need to apply through the Prometric site. Uh, Either you need to go to the Prometric Center centers, or you can write it from your home also.
Okay, sir.
Because this you need to register for the exam, then only you can able to write it.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Are we good? If you're good, let's move to the technical part of the session. So this already been discussed in the last week. So we are moving on into the technical side of the course here. So we'll be starting with the traditional IT deployment here. So this is the first topic we are trying to cover it today. Basically like a traditional IT deployment and versus cloud model here. So right now all of us are discussing about moving to a cloud technology here, moving to AWS or moving to Azure or moving to Google. Now all of us may be having a question here. In case if I'm moving to a cloud, what is the existing model currently we have in place here? So the model currently we have, um, is there any existing infrastructure has been currently it's been available with us? So we'll have a discussion on the traditional IT deployment in your organization. Now, if you work on a existing model, you may be able to see there are two models here. One is been like an on-premises solution, and you can able to see another one is been knowing as a co-location model also. So on-premises solution has been basically it's been knowing as a CPE. What do you mean CPE? It's been the customer premises equipment here, and the other one is been basically it's been knowing as a co-location model also here. Let me take you to whiteboard here. I'm just giving a scenario. If you take an existing office, for example, like if you take your existing infrastructure or your office, let me take a whiteboard. Just give me a second. Let me load the whiteboard. I'm just giving a scenario here. If you take your existing organization, you maybe heard about a two concept in your office. One is been knowing as a data room, or you maybe heard about a data center also, right? You maybe heard about a data center or a data room also. What is a data center or a data room? Teja, in your opinion, have you heard about data center or a data room? Anuj, have you heard about a data center or a data room?
No idea, sir.
Anuj, your voice was not audible to me. Anuj, you were saying something and it was not audible to me. Ankit, Ankit, have you heard about data center or a data room? Manish, have you heard about yes. So
Yeah,
basically,
hi.
yeah, yeah, Manish.
Yeah, sorry. I think you were asking about data center, right?
It's a data room or a data center. So if you what is the common similarity you can able to see on in the both.
Okay. No, I'm not like aware about the similarity between the data center and data room.
Okay, at least you may be
Yeah.
able to identify some common points, right? You may be having a servers, or you may be having storage devices, or you may be having a
Yeah, yeah.
network components, right? So
Yeah,
basically, you'll have
exactly.
a
In
lot
the
of
data center. Yeah, okay, go on. Sorry.
yeah. So basically, if you take any um, organization, all the backend or it's been backbone of your IT infrastructure is going to be either data center or a data room. You may be able to see there is a lot of servers has been available. That servers may be interconnected using a couple of network devices also. It can be a switch, or it can be a router, or it can be a hub. Depends upon the complexity of your infrastructure. And you may be having a number of workstations or servers also available, and you have a storage device has been available. Obviously, you have a firewall products also it's been available. This can be a software firewall, or it's been a hardware firewall also. That is the way generally the infrastructure is being hosted in your office. And if you take all this infrastructure, all this infrastructure is being placed on your own premises itself. So if you take a on-premises solutions or a data center or a data room, this basically is known as a on-prem solution. So on your own premises, the solution is been, or your own facility, the solution is been placed. So this kind of a model generally knowing as a on-premises solutions. So technically, if you're taking, if you compare the features or like general character of a on-premises solution, you may be able to see a couple of common points here. If you take all the infrastructure which has been currently it's been hosted or it's been participating on in this solution, all the equipments are it's been placed on in the same building or your own building here, right? So it's been hosted in the facility where access is being restricted. You may be able to see that access may be restricted. So the place or the room basically it's been is basically known as data center or a data room. And whatever equipments you are using inside that data center, whether it's been a server or a rack, or it's been like a router, or it's been like a storage device or a firewall product, the completely has been owned by you. So the moment when you purchase, or you will be putting some kind of a expense there, like for purchasing that or for bringing that solution, there is some investment is been taking from your side. That basically is been knowing as a capex cost. Capex stands for capital expenditure. So the amount of the money which you are investing for bringing your data center, that basically is been knowing as a capex cost here. Now, if you take your on-premises complete solution, uh, the maintenance or the management of the solution is been completely handled by you. So the maintenance means that configuration of the server, configuration of the operating system. In case if there is any resource utilization is been coming, upgradation of the memory or upgradation of the configuration of the resource, everything has been managed by the organization itself. So basically, it's been like a complete management of the solution is being handled by the customer or the vendor itself. Obviously, if you're responsible for managing a server, technology refreshment means that every year you may have to do some kind of a every year you may have to do some kind of a upgradation of your component. You may have to increase the cpu, or you may have to increase the size of the ram, or you may have to increase the size of the disk. So all the technology refreshment is been responsibility of yours. Similar way, if there is any kind of a redundancy, because in case if you're configuring server, it's your responsibility to ensure that if one server is being down, you need to have some kind of a failover or some kind of a backup also to be available for you, right? So all kind of a redundancy also it's been responsibility of yours. So if you take your overall solution, on-premises solution, the entire data center stack, it's been completely managed by you. So this kind of a model basically knowing as an on-premises solution. Now, right now we are talking about a cloud. So now you already have an existing or a traditional model also it's been available, that's been knowing as a on-premises solution here. So you have a on-premises solution is been available there. There you are responsible for the complete management of the solution. So that's you'll be you are responsible for that. So basically known as OP, or it's been like a CP, that's called a on-premises solution there. So you are responsible for all the end-to-end management. So this kind of a solution is basically known as on-premises solution here. I'm pausing here for taking a questions. Any question from anyone? If you're good, you can put a single comment on the chat window. Thank you, Amit. Okay, now I hope rest of the members also has been good with this point. Now, if you take any data center, based on the performance or based on the fault tolerance or based on how it's been performing, based on that not Microsoft, there is an organization is called Uptime. There is an organization called Uptime. They're given some standard uh, numbers for each data center. So based on how it's been working, based on what is the size it's been using, or what is the complexity it's been handling, how the backup is been handled, how the technology refreshment is been handled. Based on that, there is a classification is done that basically known as data center tiers. So wherever you have a complex infrastructure has been available, uh, where you have a high responsibility or high backup or a downtime, less downtime or high availability has been provided. That kind of a data center is generally known as tier 4 data center. This is basically like where you want to host a mission critical servers. That kind of a servers generally it's been configured with a tier 4. Now, other servers like based on the backup, for example, like if you take a tier 1, you don't have any much backup solutions available here. Annually, the downtime is been planned. The downtime is been 28 hours here. And if you take a tier 2 or a tier 3, you will have a downtime of 1.6 or a 22 hours, and the fault tolerance been like n plus 1, or it's been like number of the backup device, or it's additional resource we are using, it's been like n plus 1, or it's been like a n model is been using. So this based on the performance of your data center, the organization code uptime has been given a numbers for each data center. So if someone has been talks like I'm working on a tier 4, you will be able to identify what is the complexity of that data center. It's been a tier 4, or it's been like um, the capacity of the data center, or the complexity of the data center, that you can able to identify with the help of the data center TS here. So that's very important here. Now, right now, if you take your on-premises solution, you understood the end-to-end management on the data center stack. It's been handled by you. So basically, like management of the power, or management of the facility, or hosting of the data center servers, everything has been managed by you. Now, when it is coming on in some scenarios where you don't have any place or to host your data center. For example, like if you want to host your data center to some country where you don't have any facility. For example, like I need to expand my data center or a server. So that kind of a situation, you can able to reach out to few organization, basically knowing as colocation vendors. So they will be able to provide you cabinets or a space for you. So for example, like data center space or a cabinets, you can able to see this kind of space they will be providing you. So there'll be each cabin or a cage they'll be providing you. You can able to see cage, that is under cage with cage. So you'll be getting a space like this. So you'll be having only, you need to pay only for the space, and these vendors will be responsible for giving you power, internet, and the physical security for you. So this kind of a model is basically knowing as a colocation model. The servers which you are going to host it inside the server, it's been completely managed by you. So the server configuration, or what OS configuration you are doing, or what firewall configuration you are doing, all the asset, everything is being owned by you. So these companies like you have a Global Switch, or a Cyrus, or a China Telecom, or NTT. These are the few organization which you can able to see in the world who has been providing this colocation facility. So they will be responsible for giving power and cooling facility to you. So you need to pay only that amount. So you need to pay the facility charge, you need to pay the electricity bill, or you need to um, pay the other operational cost. So this will ensure that your data center can be able to expand to other countries where you don't have physical facilities being available here. So this kind of a model generally knowing as a colocation facility also. Now, if you go back to your office, your organization infrastructure may be hosted in any of this mode. This may be hosted in a colocation mode, or this may be hosted in your own on-premises data center or a data room also. Now, when you do a comparison between a on-premises one, or if you take a colocation one, um, you are responsible uh, for hosting this data center or a servers here. So the connectivity or the power or a cooling facility, only that is been provided by the vendor. So rest all it's been managed by the um, or the configuration or the management of the server has been completely managed by the Azure. Okay, so that's
ये भी
basically
महक रहा है
uh,
नहीं
yeah.
वो
So
नहीं
that's
महक रहा है
ये भी महक रहा है चट्टी लो और चार्ज में डाल के तुम्हारा नाक खराब हो गया है
कसम महक रहा है
now if you go to the colocation comparison on to the existing on-premises one, the way it's been working, both it's been going to be the same here only. For example, like the servers needs to be purchased by you, it needs to be managed by, or it's been configured by you. uh, Only difference which you can able to see on in a on-premises or a colocation one, the difference of providing or the management of the power and cooling, that's been responsibility of a vendor. That's been not mean handled by you, that's been completely managed by the vendor. So in case if you want to put some SLA or any kind of agreement, that you can able to set it with the vendor. So that's the way generally the um, servers, or it's been like on collocation model has been working. So now if you go back to your organization, you will be able to see either on-premises solution, or you'll be able to see the collocation model here. Now, when you take a cloud has been working with the help of a concept called server virtualization. If you take any organization, basically it's with the cloud has been working with the help of a server virtualization. So any questions? Now, if you take a server virtualization, have you heard about a term called, have you heard about a term called server virtual? Now, let me give you a scenario here. You are working for an organization. For example, like maybe in your existing project, you maybe notice this one. Let me give you a scenario here. In a existing project, if any user or any customer, if they have been requested for a server, in the past, we used to purchase a separate servers, right? If anyone has been requested for a server for a SQL server, we used to purchase a physical server. This can be from a Dell or a HP. Now, if someone else has been asking a server, we used to purchase another physical server. If someone has been asking for another application, we've been purchase another server here. So this was the practice in the past. But we have a couple of a challenge or a concerns we have here. Now it depends upon the complexity or the number of the users being available here. One, it's been like the space which we need for hosting the server, that's going to be a concerns here, right? The way, if you're adding more servers based on application, you may need a large extent of a space for hosting your physical infrastructure. So that's maybe one of the concerns previously we had. And the second concern we had, it's been like, if you take all these servers, like for example, like a server A or a B or a C or a D, the utilization, the total utilization, if you're taking, the utilization has been coming only 2 to 10% only. So almost all the time, the customer servers is been was, or it's been were underutilized. So that was the concerns we had in the past. So that's the reason we started using a concept called virtualization. So there is a concept is been available, that's called a virtualization. What organization is being done? They came with a software called hypervisor. So they came in with a product, or it's been a software called hypervisor. So this hypervisor will help us for a existing physical server uh, in a virtualized mode, right? This will allow, so in case if you're using hypervisor, this will allow you to install multiple VMs or a multiple host guest OS on in a same physical server. So now if you're taking the past scenario, uh, the one server was underutilized. Now, in case if you're using a hypervisor, this will help you to create, or this will allow you to create multiple hosts on the same physical host. For example, like if you install a hypervisor here, on top of this, you can be able to install multiple guest operating system. So this is basically knowing as a concept called virtualization. There are two mode of virtualization you can able to see on a customer place. One, it's knowing as type 1 hypervisor. Type 1 hypervisor means that you will be installing the software directly on the hardware. Directly, you will be installing on the hardware. You maybe heard about a couple of products on the customer place or in your project. Uh, One is been like called vSphere or a VMware, right? Or you maybe heard about something called Hyper-V or Oracle, right? So this kind of few virtualization software which you can able to see on in the customer place. So with the help of that, you can able to install guest operating system directly on top of the same server. Depends upon the configuration of the hardware. You have an option of installing additional guest operating system on top of the server. This kind of server is been basically known as a type 1 hypervisor. There is another type of the hypervisor has been available in the market also, that basically known as type 2 hypervisor. You maybe heard about a project called VMware Workstation. So this case, first you will install the operating system. On top of that, you will install hypervisor 2. Then you will be installing the additional guest operating system. So the problem here, it's been like, in case if you're using a type 2 hypervisor, in case if the operating system is got crashed, or the guest operating system, it's been running on the physical host, that will be down here. So type 2 hypervisor, generally it's been used for a lab scenario or a training purpose. This won't be used for in a real-time scenarios. In case if you want to go for a real-time production scenarios, always we used to go for the type 1 hypervisor. Now, if you take a cloud, the cloud has been backend has been using a type 1 hypervisor. So the moment when you create any VM, or the moment when you enable any resource on in a cloud, in the backend, this has been working with the help of a hypervisor, and it's been creating a VM or a resource on in the data center. So if you take any organization, or if you take any cloud product, cloud has been working with the help of a hypervisor, or with the help of a concept called a virtualization technology. So if you take any organization, you can able to see server virtualization. This you can able to see as a type 1 hypervisor, and you have a type 2 hypervisor also. So you have a option, you have a two options been available. So you'll have a type 1, and you have a type 2 hypervisor also, it's been available. So with the help of that, you can able to configure it here in the customer place. So the cloud has been working with the help of a virtualization software, or with the help of a virtualization concept. Now, when it is coming on in a finance term, we heard about a two term, or during on-premises or colocation one, you heard about two terms here. One is called a capex, and second one is being knowing as a opex also. So capex means that the amount which you are spending for bringing your data center or a server, that basically knowing as a capital expenditure. Basically, is knowing as a capital expenditure. So the amount which you are spending for starting a data center or a server, that basically knowing as a capital expenditure. So basically, like if you take any organization, basically the server cost, or a storage cost, or a network cost, or a backup host, this all is being considered as a capex cost. Now, OPEX cost is basically coming. Basically, if you're taking in a data center, you have a license is been coming. You have a skilled administrators is coming. License cost is been coming, or electricity bill, etc. is been coming. So all this is being considered as a OPEX cost. Any questions from anyone? If you're good, you can comment it on the chat window. Now, let's go for the first question for the day. This is the first question for you. So what is the answer for this? So this basically giving a scenario here. You are working for a tier 3 data center. Your requirement is for a 5 generator. So what is the maximum minimum number of generator you want to be installed here? Answer for this question is going to be B. The reason is been like if you take any tier 3 data center, always we need to go for a combination of number of the requirement plus one. That's going to be your minimum one. So here you have a requirement of a 5. So 5 plus 1 is the number you need. So you have a 6 generator is been needed. So the answer for this question is been 6. Let's go for the second question here. So answer for this question is being, you can comment it on the chat. So the answer for this question is which of the things is being a capital expenditure for this organization in a collocation one. So which is the capex cost. So the capex cost means that the cost which you are being spending for investing, or this the amount you're spending for purchasing or investing. So the answer for this question is servers in the facility. So answer for the question is been servers in the facility. Now that's about the traditional IT deployment model. So any question from anyone? Any questions? Okay, so tomorrow we'll be starting with the concept called a cloud. So tomorrow the concept has been like we'll be discussing about what is a cloud computing. We'll be discussing about a topic called IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS, and we'll be discussing about what is a private cloud, public cloud, and hybrid cloud, and a community cloud, and we'll be creating a um, account also. So that is the plan for tomorrow, and tomorrow we'll have a session at 9 p.m. Before winding up today's session, any questions? If you're good, we can take a break for the day, and we can start tomorrow with a cloud. So another 5 minutes, we'll not be in a position to finish this definition and concept. So we need to have a continuation for that. So we'll be starting the session tomorrow on the cloud side. If you're good, we can pause for the day, and we can have a session tomorrow 9 p.m. IST.
Thank you, Robin.
So thank you, Girish. Good morning. So tomorrow when you're coming, please come with your credit card also, or a debit card, because this we are planning to create a account also tomorrow. So so who is joining tomorrow? So make sure that you have a card details also been available. So on the fly, you can able to create a Azure account. So or the labs you can able to create. So tomorrow we need to complete the cloud part in the 30 minutes. And uh, in the second question, what is the meaning of SLA option of the day? SLA means that service level agreement. That is an operational cost generally has been considered. That's not a um, uh, capex cost. You don't need to invest anything on that. So SLA means that, for example, like you are getting an assurity from a co-location vendor saying that 99% of the uptime on in a power or a cooling facility, that basically knowing as a service level agreement. Now, if you take any component on in a cloud also, you have a service level agreement. Microsoft has been agreeing, saying that 99% or a 95% uptime you have for a product. So Time to resolve, yes, time to resolve the incident. If there is an outage, that basically considered as a service level agreement. It can be for completing a project or in an operation BAU or in ITL. If it is coming, as Manish said, it can be a restoring your service also. So we have a separate session is been coming on an SLA part on the cloud. We'll have a detailed session on SLA, how it's been SLA has been calculated, and what is the SLA uh, uh, agreement Microsoft is having on in a cloud also. So tomorrow we have a discussion, not tomorrow, in the SLA module, we have a detailed discussion on that. Yeah. So thank you, team. So good night, and let's connect tomorrow, 9 p.m. Thank you all. Bye.